welcome back to American Sunrise. I'm Dr. G. Thanks for joining us this morning. We invite you to hop on over in our conversation on YouTube, Getter, and Rumble. It is now time to take the political pulse of America. The Beat today. Former First Lady and failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton has vowed to nominate President Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. No, hell has not frozen over. That is if he helps to end the war in Ukraine. And she gave some other pretty specific conditions as well. Anyway, this comes after Trump met with Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House yesterday, furthering peace negotiations, of course, between Russia and Ukraine. European leaders joined Zelensky and Trump to discuss pathways to end the war. Clinton isn't the only one saying Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. The White House released a statement last week listing 7 countries' leaders throwing their support behind Trump for the nomination. But the problem is there's like 190 some countries. So joining us now with his take on Hillary's promise to nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize if he ends the Ukraine war without giving territory to Russia, let's welcome to American Sunrise, the host of America's Voice Live, Steve Gruber. Steve, it's interesting because...
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I had to sneeze. Go ahead, Steve. Good morning.
Bless you, Terrence.
That happens.
Lost my whole entire train of thought. My dog got up and walked across the room. He never does that in the middle of a show. I don't know what you're doing over there, Terrence, but no, Steve, I don't think a lot of people are falling for any sort of, let's just say, philanthropic motivation with Hillary. We all know this is definitely not that, right?
No, here's the deal. Hillary, that's about as thinly veiled begging for a pardon that I've ever seen. Hey, I'll nominate you for a Nobel Peace Prize. Can I get a pardon, by the way? And could you please stop investigating the Clinton Foundation and the Clinton Global Initiative? Just let the IRS back off on that deal right now. I mean, come on, people. Exactly. Hillary Clinton she's as transactional as anyone. She's in this for herself. There's tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars that flew around that the IRS and the FBI and the DOJ are now looking at saying, wait a second. And apparently, as John Solomon has been reporting on this network, there are at least 3 investigations into Hillary Clinton, and Sally Yates said shut it down in 2018, right? So shut it down was the directive from Sally Yates when investigating Hillary Clinton. So there's a lot to dig in here and unpack, because I really think this is Hillary Clinton saying, Donald, look, we've disagreed on some things here and there, but I could really use a pardon here, if you don't mind. Which takes me back to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Remember that? Back when Donald Trump was up there, and I saw Hillary in the hallway. She ran into me and she said, pardon me, and he said, I'll think about it. Remember that? That was a long time ago, but it was a good moment that I loved and I remember, and now it comes full circle for me, because I think that's what this is about. Look, Hillary Clinton has done everything to despise Donald Trump every step of the way. Every step of the way. It wouldn't have mattered what he could have cured cancer, and Hillary Clinton said, well, he's putting on colleges out of work. But suddenly, a change of spirit when all of these Clinton Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative investigations come to light. Maybe I'm jaded, or maybe I just think that Hillary's probably guilty and she needs a way out. I mean, you can go either way with this one.
You know, Steve, I get so excited every time we have you on American Sunrise, because we can talk about Michigan, both of our home, but this isn't so exciting. In Hamtramck, there were 2 city council members that have been arraigned on charges related to alleged fraud. This is in the 2023 election and in the August 5th primary election. So that thing that Democrats say never happens, it just occurred in Detroit. They're investigating this. Fill us in on what you know.
Well, there's the alleged video of the alleged ballots going into the alleged box. I mean,
sure.
I don't know how alleged it's supposed to be, but yeah, they're toast. And look, this goes on. And this is why, and I saw Donald Trump mention this here just a couple of days ago, it's time to get rid of mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots are not legal anywhere in the world, anywhere. Except for California, of course, where Gavin Newsom is claiming he's defending democracy. He's codified and put into the state constitution mail-in ballots. You can count those mail-in ballots weeks after the elections are over. And now he's trying to redistrict California to save democracy. Only 17% of the seats in the California congressional district currently are with Republicans. He wants to make it about 6% Republican and the rest 93, 94% Democrat. He wants one-party rule because it's working so well in California. Working so well that they gave, and I'm going to say this because this is the most irritating thing that I've seen so far. Yes, there's cheating in elections. California has perfected cheating in elections. That's a fact. And as a result of that, Gavin Newsom has given people a license to kill. What do I mean by that? Go to the video of the 18-wheeler, the illegal alien from India, making a U-turn on a highway and killing a family of 3. That came from Gavin Newsom. They gave an illegal alien a CDL. So this is what you get when you get one-party rule. And this is what you get when you stuff ballots with mail-in ballots into the ballot box. This is why mail-in ballots should be illegal. This is why Donald Trump says they have got to go. And he's right. No country in Europe allows mail-in ballots. You know, if you've got a broken leg and you're in Europe and you say, well, I want to mail in my, you got to get to the polling place. Well, I want to send in my ballot. No, I've got a broken leg. I'm in the hospital. They don't care. It doesn't matter why you can't get to the polling place. You can vote, and you can vote in person. That's why Donald Trump is right. Gavin Newsom is wrong. These people in Hamtramck are wrong. The people in Michigan are wrong. Cheating is a look. Cheating has been going on in elections ever since there have been elections. It hasn't changed. They're just trying to find different ways to do it. But one of the ways to stop it from happening right now, get rid of mail-in ballots. He also doesn't like the machines, obviously, the Dominion machines. I think he doesn't like those. But I think mail-in ballots were really, to me, when I look at what happened in 2020, it was the mass mail-in ballots, the vans pulling up at 3 in the morning and boxes of ballots coming out in places like Detroit and Philadelphia. That was the key to what happened in 2020. That is exactly what happened. And so when you see this from Hamtramck, which, by the way, used to be a Polish community and is no longer, first community in America to have a 100% Muslim city council. It's all changed. But cheating, it's always been here. Donald Trump is right. Everybody else that says we need to get rid of mail-in ballots is right. It's time to clean up the elections and bring back integrity, I believe.
Steve, let's stay in your state of Michigan, but follow me off the beaten path a little bit. There's been a lot of talk about President Trump securing Washington. You thought, well, let's go. Hand in hand, let's go, Steve. So check this out. President Trump, of course, there's been a lot made about the fact that he's mobilized the National Guard in Washington, D.C., is helping to secure that city, which, of course, he has the authority to do. So here's my question to you. I'd love to get your perspective on, say, a Detroit, a city that has had a history of violence, of crime, of blight. Where would you stand on the president if he has the authority, if he were able to, mobilizing the National Guard to help secure that city, to help rebuild that city? Where would you stand on something like that? Just out of curiosity.
I'm going to get some furrowed brows on this one. Let's talk about Detroit for a moment. For the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, a Democrat, Mike Duggan, has been the mayor of Detroit. Detroit didn't burn in 2020 because he wouldn't allow it. Detroit has law and order to a pretty good degree because that's what they've demanded. The stadium district, if you will, where the baseball stadium, Ford Field, the football stadium, all those things are, it's fabulous. Terrence, you should come. I'll take you down there. It's fabulous. It's a remarkable city. It's beautiful, and it's safe because Mike Duggan, who, by the way, is a Democrat, but he's running for governor in Michigan as an independent because he wants nothing to do with the Democrat Party. Remarkable. That's happening right now, and he's leading all the polls. An independent could be, he's an independent, but he'd be a left of center independent. But let me answer the bigger question that you're asking here. I do tip my hat to Mike Duggan and the police department in Detroit for doing a better job than most. Can there be improvement? Sure. I'm in D.C. a fair amount. I'll be there next week covering the White House when our friend Brian Glenn takes a few days off next week. So I'll be back to look at it in person. I'm going to look at where the 75 homeless encampments were but are not now. I'm going to look at the crime. I'm going to see what it's like to me walking down Pennsylvania Avenue or anywhere else. Here's what I think. I see a lot of videos from people that live in D.C. and have lived there their whole lives. They're all for it. They love it. The only people I see complaining about it are people that don't live there, mostly white liberals, that don't live there, that are bumping their gums about, it's a takeover. Donald Trump's a tyrant. No, he's not. He's cleaning up a dump. He's cleaning up a dumpster. And when I see 75 homeless encampments get put into the garbage truck, I'm like, yeah, that's the way it should be. Here's what I think is going to happen, Terrence. I think not too far away in Baltimore, they're going to look over there and go, hey, we want some of that. We want our streets cleaned up. We want our city cleaned up. And then they're going to, in Philadelphia, they're going, hey, look what they did in D.C. and Baltimore. We want some of that. And the folks in Chicago are going to say, hey, we can get rid of our homeless encampments and junkies and drug dealers and roving groups of teenage criminals. It's not going to take Donald Trump to do it. It's going to take the people saying, hey, look what they did in D.C. We want some of that. We want safe neighborhoods. We want clean sidewalks. We want our kids to be able to walk to school without stepping over junkies and fecal matter on the sidewalk. It's just going to take the people saying, hey, We want some of that. And when they see what's happening in D.C., I think that's what the people are going to demand. In Baltimore, Philly, Cleveland. Yes, Detroit, too. There's room for improvement. There's no question about that. In every major city across this country, most of which, not all, but most, I think I saw the list, 8 of the 10 most violent cities in America are run by Democrats. There's a couple of exceptions. Memphis and whatever the other one was are run by Republicans, but it doesn't matter. Republican, Democrat, mostly Democrat. People want safe, livable cities. It's not too much to ask. Look, how many people would go to a major event, a football game, a baseball game in most of these cities anymore? They wouldn't. They don't feel safe. Why would you go spend $200 for you and your son to go to a football game, T, if you can't trust the city? If you don't think it's safe to go there, you're not going to do that. But if the city's safe, it's good for the cities. People come back in, they go to the restaurants, they go to the football game, they go to the baseball game, they go see a play or whatever it might be. It's financially responsible to clean up the cities as well. And I think when people watch what's happening in D.C., they're going to demand it for their own city. That's what I think is going to happen.
I agree. And I think there's a lot of that going around, Steve. In Texas, for example, Texas schools say phones down and prayers up. They have kicked off 2025-26 school year with 4 bold new policies. These are including leaving your cell phone. Kids are not allowed to have cell phones in the classroom, and including, of course, praying. Steve, do you think this will catch on in other states as well?
Funny you should mention that. For my 8th grader, school started yesterday. He's been in a private school until this year. We ran out of runway on that. And so he's in the public school. And he came home yesterday. He said, man, there was a scary teacher there, Dad. Oh, what'd she say? She said, if you get caught with a phone, you're in detention. If you come with no homework, you're in detention. If you come without your backpack, you're in but the phones are banned where I am. Banned. And if you come and you get caught with a phone, you're in detention. He said, man, there's scary people there. I said, there's rules and there's guidelines, son, and that's what you're going to follow. And I think it is something that's happening across the country. In Michigan, there's a proposal in the state legislature here to ban cell phones in the schools. I agree with that. Look, there's so much poison that comes through those things to begin with. Who knows what the hell's going on in cell phones and videos and TikTok and YouTube. There's just so much poison coming through there to not just to indoctrinate, but to lure, to groom, to do all these things. I get it. It's part of the landscape. We all have these things, but enough's enough. I mean, kids get enough screen time, I'm pretty sure. Heck, I get too much screen time. I mean, let's just be honest. I look at that thing too much, right? So I don't think we need to warp, kids' minds. Let's clean up the schools. Let's get the phones out of there. Let's make school about reading, writing, and arithmetic, and maybe recess, even that, right? And not staring at a screen. I agree with that 100%. I think that's going to happen too.
A lot of back to the basics these days, as Terrence was saying earlier. Yeah.
Recess, though, Steve? Recess?
They got to get out.
To recess.
They do have to get out.
In fact, when I'm done here, when I'm done right here, I'm going out to recess. 100%. Right now.
Yeah. My academic career was marked by recess. That was my best grade, recess. There you go. Steve, good to talk to you, my friend. Recess, that's hilarious. I don't think I've heard that word in years, recess. All right, still to come here on American Sunrise. Can you imagine walking 4 miles between jobs every single day? Well, that's the reality for one Minnesota fast food worker. In moments, the surprise gift that will see those days in his rear view mirror. The heartwarming act of service and kindness coming up. First, though, while pop star Taylor Swift is reportedly working on an upcoming song about President Trump, former FBI Director James Comey comes out and admits he's a Swiftie. Bruh. We've got the strange clip coming up.